What's going on, guys? My name is Eddie Fuentes here from the Dead Flamingo Pop-Up. We're about to get it in, and a little background about myself. So first question was my industry background, right? Been in the game for about 18 years now. Have done, I think, pretty much everything that has to do in the restaurant business. Started with running food in Chispa back in the day. I think it was like 2005, 2006, and was a very cool kind of opportunity because I kind of started my career there without even knowing it was really my career. I was fortunate enough to work at a lot of cool places. From early on, working south of 5th, then South Beach, then bigger hotels like the Fontainebleau. When I got an opportunity there, that kind of changed my perspective in life. I saw behind the curtain, I guess I could say. Then from that opportunity, I was fortunate enough to work with the Broken Shaker. So Broken Shaker was a pop-up at the time. And right when they went from pop-up to like freestanding or brick and mortar, right? I was able to be, I always kind of call it, I was the Christian Leitner on the dream team. I was around like superstars, you know what I mean? The roster was heavy. That kind of opportunity was great because I finally was able to really understand the business when it comes to hospitality, the cocktail business, the bar business, and really the experience business, right? Like at the end of the day, we're here to build an experience. And at Broken Shaker, I was able to bring my own personality, which is a little loud, and mix it in with everybody else that was there, but really like see the community and how important the community is. That's later along that, we started with the bar in the front. Then there was a house in the back that later became 27 behind the pool, which is where, again, I met a lot of different cool people, long-lasting relationships within this community. And one of them that I met was Will Thompson. During that phase, he was more like the bar manager, and I guess I was more the creatives. In the beginning, actually, I just came in as a bartender. I was coming from actually from the Boondies. I was in Finca. I did a project over there in Kendall. We brought cocktails to the South. You know what I mean? It's crazy because it's 10 years later. So yeah, man, like I said, been a part of a lot of cool projects, met a lot of cool people. Even fortunate enough to have an opportunity down south in Finca. We brought cocktails out there, me and Eileen and the Andrades. Shout out to them. They're about to do 10 years. Yeah, a lot of 10 years. Better Days 10 years, Finca 10 years. Been a part of a lot of cool projects, kind of even thinking about it. So yeah, brought cocktails to Finca. Then after that, got an opportunity in 27. What I was talking about was Broken Shaker, being a part of that family, learning about community. Went down south. They hooked me up with a project. Barlag hooked me up with a project to partner up with Eileen and do this thing. It first started as a bartending gig and it developed. And usually that's how it went a lot of times in my career. Things just developed. When I got to 27, that they were opening up the back of the house, the back house, where I met Will, the last thing I wanted to do is manage. You know what I mean? I wanted to kind of just go back to my roots, go back to bartending, having fun. And Will was kind of like the bar manager. I was more just a bartender, really. Showed up in a 3-piece suit for a bartending gig. Got clowned that day too. But anyway, Bar Lab and their interviewing process. So when I got that job, I was literally, everything I was saying is, please, I don't want to be in management. I don't want to be in leadership. And funny enough, I got into leadership. So I was leading the bar program while Will was the manager. And that's where me and him kind of started vibing. They have this little, if anybody's been there, have this little like balcony in the back area that me and him had a lot of different conversations. And we were both in a part of our lives that was very, very interesting, right? A lot of rebirths, a lot of restarts. Talking about big pictures, man. Talking about what we're doing right now. Working together, starting our own business, our own ventures, and really making a difference within our communities, right? And within our industry. And being trying to be a pillar, right? Trying to add. Not be a pillar, but try to add. I left 27 because I thought I wanted to start doing my own thing, right? So I opened my own consulting company. We did that for about 5 years. It was extremely exciting. I worked with companies like Virgin Voyages. I got to relaunch the Turnberry Hotel. Opened up another hotel in Daytona. A whole bunch of different little projects. Even did a interactive or immersive theater play called Amparo, which is where I met my fiance. So each chapter in my life kind of leads me to the next step, right? And after I did Amparo, our group was fortunate enough to open up our first brick and mortar. You know what I mean? I opened up a sneaker concept, also a kind of like high-end bar, right? Spanglish and Grails and things like that. Right after that venture, Will called me up and he's like, yo, I have this concept. I have this kind of this group that I'm putting together, a dream team, right, if you will. And it kind of sounded again like kind of like Broken Shaker back in the day. We're doing a pop-up. We're trying to put a lot of different faces and a lot of different talents together. See, become an incubator, right? Become again a dream team. So Will called me up, and to be honest, when he first called me up, I wasn't 100% like on board, right? I can say I think I was a little bit more violent than that. I just wanted to start something different, and I didn't really understand what this was gonna be, right? And as soon as I got into the space and I saw it, and I saw the partners, and we had really our first meeting or our first event, I was hooked. You know what I mean? I knew that this was gonna be a thing, and we were gonna make a difference. And we can also bring something different to the table, right? The Dead Flamingo is something that is definitely community, right? We want to be the Miami Cheers, right? Everybody knows your name. Everybody greets you with a smile, right? And I believe that Miami needs something like this. We have a lot of amazing bars and restaurants, so don't get me wrong. We're definitely catching up to all the big cities. We're a young city. So we have world-class bars and restaurants now, which is amazing, right? But I think that we can still add something different. Add a community bar that's, low-key, 5-star dive, right? Come as you are and just have a good time, man. There's no real like rules, right? Just have fun. You know what I'm saying? So, I guess that's my industry background, 18 years, right? On how we got together. A little bit about myself. Myself, Eddie, Cuban American, say the Cuban first, right? Very proud. Anybody that says it, they always say Cuban American first, even though they say that they're American, Americano, gringo, right? Come from, first generation, like I said, my parents came from Cuba, kind of the immigrant story, which is funny that I'm in Little Havana right now, and that's the history behind this community, right? That I get to be a part of now. It even goes even deeper into my roots. My parents left from Cuba, went to Spain. Small story about that. They met in Spain. Funny enough, then they broke up. Here in Miami, my grandfather and my grandmother saw each other in the market. Then they got together, and then about a year later, I came. So my dad left Cuba, my mom left Cuba, not knowing obviously the purpose was to come to America. They went to Spain because it was an avenue. But when they got here, they again, typical story, had no money. My dad, from what I hear, had maybe $100. My mom had nothing, didn't know the language. And at the time, obviously there's no internet. There's no cell phones, really. I don't think there was. Yeah, there's no fucking cell phones. I don't even think there's color TV. You know what I'm saying? So you're coming into this place that has no Amazon Prime. You know what I mean? And bro, and they made it, man. You know what I mean? So that to me is one of the things that I wanted to get into. Is like, yeah, I'm very family oriented, right? For me, everybody says family first, and I'm not taking anything away from that. But to me, it's like my why. You know what I mean? Like all that sacrifice and all the things that they have to go through. My dad worked 3 jobs until I was like 7. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just crazy to even think about it. What they had to go through to put us in a position to win, right? To give us the opportunity. You know, I love that about them. I'm rambling a little bit, but you know, you always get emotional when you talk about family. So, you know, what they did teach me is, because they were immigrants, right? Work ethic, being tenacious, right? Not accepting no for an answer. You know, these are things that not only why I push for them, why that's why they're my why, but also they show me the fundamental building blocks of how to be a business owner. You know what I mean? And how to be just you know, a person from Miami, right? I'm from Hialeah. You know, when you're from Hialeah, you gotta grind. You gotta figure it out. You know what I mean? You gotta hustle. You always gotta have 3-4 things going on. So all these different things from my parents, my background, and where I was raised, everything kind of got me ready for this opportunity. And I think that's what the Dead Flamingo is to me. You know what I mean? It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for not only myself, but for my partners, right? Like I mentioned, it's a whole bunch of bartenders that got together, put their tips together to embark on a journey that they have no idea. Like, it's kind of like real world. You have no idea until you're in it, right? People can talk about it. You can see it in a movie, but or like Tyson, bro, you might have a plan to get punched in the face, right? And man, you know, again, I just keep on thinking about opportunities. Opportunities to do so many great things. And for me, it's a new start, you know, an opportunity to really do it, man. I got great people around me. You know what I mean? The whole point of this is to scale it up. It's not just about one. I tell all my partners that one's not gonna do it. You know what I mean? 5 to 10 is where we gotta be at. The first one's the hardest, maybe number 2, but after 3, 4, we'd be cruising.